At least 80 roller coasters, at least 10 theme parks. Your Experience Guide's biggest ever event is happening in June 2025, and you're invited. Hello, I'm Scott and you're watching Your Experience Guide, and I'm looking forward to talking about what is going to be our biggest ever event trip so far. And of course it will be taking place in America in June 2025. And in this video I'm going to talk about what the plan is, how it works, all the planning we've been doing, and still the bits of planning that we have left to do. But we're so close now to having this trip finalised and all of the information that I thought it was a good time to finally get in front of the camera, talk about this trip and start building the hype for what will be our biggest event trip ever and one of the Enthusiast events of the year in 2025. Before I get to the point of how this trip's going to work, how you can get involved, potential pricing and all things like that, I'm going to run through the parks that we are definitely visiting on this trip and then talk about two that we may also be able to fit in onto this trip. So firstly, we have Six Flags Great Adventure. By the time of visiting, there should be 15 operational roller coasters. They're currently constructing a brand new Vekoma Super Boomerang roller coaster. It was expected to open for 2024, but has been delayed to 2025. So hopefully, by the time we visit, it will be open, meaning that there is 15 available operational roller coasters at Six Flags Great Adventure, including King Dakar and El Toro. Next up will be Morris Piers with 7 roller coasters, including a wooden coaster on the beach. Following on from there is Six Flags America with 8 roller coasters, including an Intamin mega coaster. Following on from there will be Busch Gardens Williamsburg. There's 10 roller coasters, including a B&M invert, a B&M dive coaster, and the iconic Arrow Dynamics roller coaster, the Loch Ness. Then it's King's Dominion, which should have 14 operating roller coasters by the time we visit. They are opening a brand new wing coaster for 2025, which will hopefully be open for our visit. Also, they have the iconic Project 305. Following on from there is more of a travel day, but we're still going to manage to squeeze in 2 amusement parks. One of those is Adventure Park USA, and the other one is Dutch Wonderland. There will be 6 roller coasters in all for us to enjoy. We won't be at those parks for a long time, but we will be there long enough to give the coach driver a rest and for us to all get 6 new roller coasters to add to our counts. Following on from there will be Knoebels with 6 roller coasters, including the legendary Phoenix, said to be one of the best wooden roller coasters in the world. And from there we'll be moving on to Dorney Park with 8 roller coasters, including a couple of B&Ms, classic B&Ms, and a brand new dive coaster that opened in 2024. And then Hersheypark, an excellent theme park that we visited in June 2024 with 14 roller coasters, including the iconic Sky Rush. So they are the confirmed parks on this trip, but there's also 2 parks that we're going to try and squeeze into this trip as well. One of those is Sesame Place with 2 roller coasters. If we're going to do that one, it will be in the morning before we go to Morris Piers. However, that is still unconfirmed. We're trying to figure something out with the park to go maybe before they open, get on the roller coaster credits, and then carry on with our journey before that park opens. And the other one, with a bit of a question mark next to it at the minute, is Coney Island Luna Park. If we're going to do this one, it will be on the last day before we head back to New York JFK Airport. So it would be the last park of the trip. But again, it's going to depend on coach timings, flight timings, and if the park can squeeze us in before we have to be at JFK. So that one and Sesame Place they're not confirmed yet, but when I'm not filming this video, I'm actively working on this trip and I hope to squeeze those in as well. The starting point of this trip is New York JFK on the 15th of June. This is where the group transportation will begin. The group transportation will take us to every park, every hotel, and will last right until the end of the trip when they take us back to New York JFK on June the 25th. Included in the price of the trip will be group transportation starting and ending at JFK and everything that it does in between. Then there'll be park tickets for most of the parks that we're going to. Some of the parks are free entry with paper ride in place. That will not be included in the cost of the trip because it's a free to enter park, and then it will be up to everyone on the trip to decide how many rides they do or don't want to do on the day. But most of the parks that we're visiting, park entry will be included in the cost of the trip. And then there will be things like exclusive ride time or behind the scenes tours that we're trying to organise for the trip. If they can be organised, they will be included in the cost of the trip. Also included will be the price of hotels. We have organised all of the hotels for this trip from the 15th of June to the 25th of June. And the final thing to mention in the cost is things like associated fees for things like lanyards, event passes, and very small web fees that we put onto every event trip anyway, things that are just covered by like 50p, £1 a person, which are added to every event cost. So all in all, pricing for this trip will include ground transportation, park tickets where applicable, park perks where applicable, and some very small associated fees at the end. We are hoping to have the final price out there on social media in the very, very near future. We are working on it and we hope to have that information available very soon. Of course, our mailing list will be the first to know about it. If you would like to join the mailing list, please email us at hello@yourexperienceguide.info. Ask to be added to the America mailing list and we'll get you added. Now, something that I can confirm is that this trip will go on sale on Friday, the 27th of September 2024 at 7 p.m. It will be sold on a first come, first served basis. It will be sold through our website, and at the time of booking, you will not have to pay the full costs. There will be an upfront fee of £500 per person. This guarantees your place on the trip, and then the remaining costs will not be due until next year. Once you've booked your place on this trip, the remaining balance will be split into two parts. Your experience guide will invoice attendees the remaining balance for theme park tickets, theme park perks, and any other associated costs that were advertised in the price for the theme park side of the trip. The invoiced balance from your experience guide will be due in spring 2025, so there is plenty of time to pay the remaining balance of the trip between booking on and the trip taking place. We have agreed special group rates with 6 hotels. Attendees will be able to book their own shared or single occupancy rooms through the booking links that we provide at the agreed group rates. At the time of booking your hotels at the agreed rates, it will tell you on the booking page if you are going to pay up front or if you are expected to pay on arrival or if they're going to process the payment a few days before we arrive. Each hotel has done it differently, but they have all provided us with a booking link at an agreed group rate with an agreed cut-off date and a set amount of rooms for our group to use during this trip. Once you've booked your place on the trip, we will email you with all of the hotel information with the booking links for every hotel so that you can book your rooms, whether it be your own room or a shared room, at the agreed rates through the agreed booking link within the agreed time. So only the people who have booked on the trip will be able to use these group rates and will receive the booking links once booked onto the trip. So onto the final information about this trip for now. No membership is ever required to attend a Your Experience Guide event. So it doesn't matter if this is your first event or your 50th event with Your Experience Guide, you are welcome to book your place on this trip. If you are under the age of 21, you must attend with an adult who is a family member who is 21 or older. The reason we don't include flights on these trips is for flexibility. It's to give everyone the chance to either travel out before the event and experience some different parks that aren't on the lineup, or to just acclimatise to the American weather. And for the same reason, at the end of the trip may come to an end as far as the event goes, but you may want to stay in America for an extra few days to go sightseeing, just to chill out, or to go and do more theme parks. So that is the main reason why we don't include flights in the cost or in the event package, is to give everybody a bit of flexibility with when they want to travel out to America. Of course, We will have set timings for the start and the end of the group transportation, but in terms of the flights, it really is up to you how early you decide to travel out to America and how late you stay after the event in America. But the main reason for it is flexibility, but also because so many people who attend our events come from so many different places in the UK especially, it will be difficult to try and get everyone to the same airport on the same day when so many of us have different ideas about extending the trip either at the start or the end. So really, it's a flexibility thing. Group capacity is expected to be 54 people, and places will be sold on a first come, first served basis from Friday the 27th of September, 7 p.m. on our website. If you are interested in this trip but would like more information, please let us know in the comments section below or drop us an email to hello@yourexperienceguide.info. Many thanks for watching. I hope to see you on this trip, and I'll see you in the next video.